Welcome back, my germs and sperms, to Off the Rip, my new podcast. And, so yeah, we're only on episode 2 today. There's not really a particular topic. Well, okay, there is a topic that I do want to talk about. But, it's not really a very strong topic. Actually, no, I'm not going to say that. But, and just a heads up, this video might end up splitting up and be kind of weird, because my plan for this series is to just, right off the rip, I get an idea of something I want to talk about, I sit down, I record the audio over some gameplay, and then I put some music over it, and then just post it to YouTube. No, excuse me, had lunch, but, you know, something might come up later that forces me to have to split this recording into 2 separate recordings, and then just put them together and editing. But, today, I want to talk about my dream Call of Duty. You know, I did Call of Duty the last video, and now this video I'm going to continue that trend and do another COD video. Maybe I'll do a third one right after this, maybe I won't, maybe I'll talk about something else next episode. But anyways, my dream Call of Duty is extremely simple. So, essentially, what I want is the game will launch in summertime. Like, day one that the first school in America is let out for summer, that's the same day that the game launches. And it will be a free-to-play Call of Duty. Now, at launch, the game is going to be very simple. It's going to feature all of the maps from Modern Warfare, Black Ops 2, and just for a bit of variety, World at War. And that's all of the maps that are going to be at the launch of the game for like the first month. Now, there will be other stuff. Also at launch, there will of course be Battle Royale. You'll have Verdansk, Rebirth Island, and Blackout, just because it's a goated map. So you're gonna have those three Battle Royale maps at the launch, on top of 3 great Call of Duty games, all of their maps just in there at the start. There will be a zombies. It's just gonna be Onslaught. You know, you play the multiplayer maps, but now they got zombies. And now I thought about making this a separate podcast episode, but I might as well talk about it now. I feel like Call of Duty Gulf War is going to have a very big job of redefining Call of Duty zombies. Because, and what I mean by that is, we currently have 3 separate zombie types. We have Onslaught from Cold War, which is kind of like the World at War COD zombies. You know, you jump into the map, you bring a gun, and you fight till you die. Then we have the current round-based zombies, which is very Easter egg heavy, and I don't really like that. But, you know, I still like the maps, they're still fun. And then we have, the objective-based zombies, like, what's it called? Outbreak, Vanguard zombies, Modern Warfare zombies. Yeah, we currently have 3 separate zombie modes coexisting. And I feel like Gulf War has the job of redefining what it means to be a COD Zombies mode. And here's my pitch for zombies going forward and what it would be like in my dream Call of Duty. So, first off, we got Onslaught. Now, Onslaught is going to be very overhauled. First off, on every map on Onslaught, there are going to be 4 perk machines. Kind of like on Shinonuma and Nuketown from Black Ops 2. Yeah, there's gonna be a perk machine, but every time you go to that perk machine and buy a perk from it, it then randomizes. And it's not gonna be an instant randomize to something else. It's gonna be a couple of rounds. And so then you can go hit all 4 perk machines, and now they're randomizing to some other perk. Quick Revive, Juggernaut, Speed Cola, and Mule Kit are always going to be the first they're always going to be the first four that spawn. They're a guaranteed spawn. And then throughout the game, you know, like if you're playing with 4 other people, one guy buys Juggernaut and Quick Revive, well, now no one else can get Juggernaut or Quick Revive until they circle around next. You know, I feel like that'll just add a bit of chaotic fun, like everyone's now fighting to get the points to buy all the perks on the map. The mystery box will be here, but it's gonna act more like a random loot crate. Like it spawns in every 5 rounds, and then, the more rounds that you play, it slowly increases the more loot you get. You know, like if you don't, like if the mystery box spawns in like round 5, and you don't collect the mystery box to like round 50, you're not only going to get a shit ton of loot from it, it's going to be really good loot. You know, that's just kind of a fun idea to reinvent the mystery box for Onslaught. Because zombies, they already drop guns and whatnot, so you don't really need a mystery box. But, you know, it's a Call of Duty classic, so you kind of have to keep it in there and implement it in some way for zombies. You know, so I integrated perks in a slightly better way. We got the mystery box. Now for Pack-a-Punch. So there are 2 main types of Onslaught. There is the kind of survival where the orb like moves around the map. And then there is a, I forget what it's called, but then there's like a version where you have access to the entire map. And it's just constant waves of zombies, you know. Like, they spawn much more quickly. You still have downtime between rounds, even though they're not called rounds, they're called waves or something. But still, you still get, like, downtime, like it's a normal COD zombie zone. And, you know, basically that's just gonna be, like, the default mode. But there will be, like you know, their standard Onslaught will be, like, a separate mode, and then round-based Onslaught will be its own mode. Yeah, like, it's gonna be like Onslaught Classic and Onslaught Round that you can select in the main menu, and you have all the multiplayer maps you can select pretty much. Now, Pack-a-Punch is actually gonna be the orb. Like, say past round 5, if you go to the orb with a certain amount of points, like, what is it? 5,000 to Pack-a-Punch. Like, if you go up to 5,000 points, you drop in an AK or something, and boom, you get it Pack-a-Punched. And the next time you Pack-a-Punch, you get a random alternate ammo type. And, yeah, you know, I just feel like that'll be a cool way to add in more classic zombies elements into Onslaught. And that'll serve as the basic bitch round zombies. That'll survive as your pure survival. Now, in standard round-based, there will still be survival maps, but those are going to be more Easter egg focused. Next up, of course, you know, round-based is pretty much going to stay the way that it was in, like, Black Ops 3, Black Ops 4. Survival maps are going to have some more simple Easter eggs to get casuals into the series and start teaching them, like, the mechanics of Easter eggs and what you need to do for some of them. And then, you know, your much more bigger zombie maps, like, shit, what's a big map? Like, fuck, I can't think of one right now. Like, Shadows of Evil and, Mob of the Dead type maps. Those are gonna have your big, complex Easter eggs. You know, just to kind of keep that classic zombies flair going. And then the, objective-based zombies, like Modern Warfare zombies, Vanguard, Cold War, those are gonna pretty much remain the same. They're gonna be in, like, a playlist separate from round-based. But, you know, they're not gonna be, like, tucked away in a hidden menu. All 3 modes are gonna be at the forefront of zombies. So you've got your casual, your intermediate, and now your objective-based. And a 4th zombie mode, which I'm taking from Black Ops 3, Nightmares. Nightmares was essentially just, like, a second campaign, but, you know, now you're just fighting against zombies in campaign levels. It was cool, but they didn't push it to what they could have done with it, and my pitch for Nightmares is, very simply, it just takes you, like, walks you through the steps of a zombie's Easter egg. Like, say you're playing through nightmares and one of the missions has you on Mob of the Dead. The game will now walk you through the Mob of the Dead, Easter egg. And then, you know, like every 5 rounds or every time you complete a certain step, it'll like a checkpoint. So when you die, you respawn at that checkpoint. And, you know, I think that would just be a good way to let casual or new zombie players experience the story and Easter eggs of zombies without, excuse me, my throat is getting dry. But, yeah, like I was saying, without them having to sit down and watch like an hour-long Mr. Waffle Waffles guide just to be able to get pack-a-punch on fucking Shadows of Evil. Like, what is that shit? And then, of course, if you're playing strictly round-based zombies and want, like, pack-a-punch from, like, Shadows of Evil or something. Oh, shit, I think my power is going out. It's like raining cats and dogs outside. I should be, like, charging my phone right now, but instead I'm doing a podcast episode. That's kind of funny. But, yeah, anyways. Like I was saying, what was this? See, that's the problem with Off the Rip. Like, I constantly get sidetracked by the littlest thing, and I forget what I was saying. Because, like, normally if I do a video and I, like, have a topic, I'll spend, like, so long figuring out what it is I want to say that in the moment, I just stumble over myself trying to say it. And now I'm, like, trying to say it, but I'm constantly thinking of other stuff and trying to, like, clarify everything, but now I'm stumbling over my own thoughts. But still, it's good that I'm actually able to get all these thoughts out. And the problem with playing games and then doing voiceover all at the same time is you just kind of get distracted by the game itself. You know, like, say I'm playing zombies and I'm, like, trying to commentate something and tell a story or a joke. I'm constantly going to be getting distracted by the game. And if I focus on telling my story, then I'm not going to do well in the game. And then I'm going to suck ass and it's going to be boring. But then if I don't talk, I'm worried that it's boring either way, and yada yada yada. Anyways, getting back on the side tangent. So, yeah, you know, that way, round-based zombies, if you, like, select, like, Mob of the Dead, and you're doing round-based zombies, Pack-a-Punch and whatnot will be unlocked. You just have to get to it. You know, like, you don't have to do an Easter egg. You just have to, like, run up to the theater and buy the door to go in to Pack-a-Punch. And, you know, that's kind of, how it's going to be for, like, all round-based maps. Like, if you select to play the round-based game mode. No, excuse me. That is how all of the, Pack-a-Punch steps are going to be done. You just get it. All you have to do is, like, turn on power. If there even is power on the map. Moving on back to multiplayer, and really for my Dream Call of Duty in general, all maps, multiplayer, Battle Royale, Zombies, all maps from previous games are returning in this game. Over, like, the course of years, they're slowly gonna get added in. And I know what you're thinking, but William, I mean, come on. Activision would never do that. I mean, what about the next Call of Duty? You know, there's gonna be multiplayer in that, right? Wrong. See, very simply, just take multiplayer out of the yearly COD, release a campaign with, like, a bunch of online co-op modes, and bada bing, bada boom. I mean, Activision will make money off of the free-to-play Call of Duty, and they would also be making money off of the yearly COD campaign alongside all the co-op stuff that they add into it to fluff out the runtime and whatnot. I think that would be... I personally think that is the best thing for Call of Duty. I think that's what they should do. And then kind of like Warzone, every few years they give it a major overhaul to keep it fresh, you know? Because that's the thing about COD Mobile. It doesn't feel fresh after being out since 2019 or so. The game feels the same, you know? It just feels the same old Call of Duty Mobile. Like, they never change the game. Like, they'll change sound effects, they'll change graphics, but they never change the gameplay and how it feels. And as much as people hate change, you gotta admit, if Fortnite or Warzone stayed on Verdansk and stayed with its old movement systems, people would not be happy. Like, we would be complaining, oh, it's the same game over and over again, it's lost its fun, it's not good anymore. It's not that it's not good, it's just that you're tired of the same thing. And that's the thing, another sign time to come out. Whenever Fortnite OG comes back, I genuinely hope they change out the map and keep it going in real time with the old seasons. And then, like, every once in a while change out the map for another chapter. Because if they don't, people are going to get tired of OG Fortnite. Like, you know, like, yeah, then they can just go back to main Battle Royale, but eventually they're going to get tired of that too. You know, they're going to get tired of the current chapter, and then they're going to get tired of OG, and then they're going to get tired of all the side modes. And, you know, eventually, you know, people are just going to get tired of Fortnite in general. It's going to fall off for a while. And eventually, you know, like, all good games, it will come back. But, you know, and again, that's just talking hypothetical, what I think is most likely to happen. You know, unless Epic takes the right steps with, like, OG Fortnite and whatnot. But, getting a little bit more back on track, yeah, that's pretty much how my dream Call of Duty would go online, multiplayer, co-op-wise. Like, I would imagine Activision would keep the yearly release going for a while. But at the same time, I would like to imagine that a campaign section of the new Call of Duty would be added eventually. That you can, like, go into the shop and buy for, like, 40, 50, 60 bucks. A fully remastered campaign of, like, COD 1, COD 2, COD 3, COD 4, COD Modern Warfare 2, Modern Warfare 3, Black Ops 1, Black Ops 2, World at War, World War 2, you know. Like, I could imagine them doing that, you know, like, after a good few years of the game being out. People are kind of questioning, hey, why are you still releasing a yearly Call of Duty when you already got a Call of Duty you're currently supporting on all platforms? You know, eventually they're just going to drop the new release. You know, like, every year we'll still get, like, a physical release just to keep that retail presence. But it's just going to be, like, a DLC for the live service game, or the free play. And, in terms of, like, stuff I would add that is new, there's not really much I can think about. You know, like, we've all had ideas for, like, Call of Duty perks and gobblegums. Yeah, I should mention this. In my dream Call of Duty, zombies would have perks and gobblegums. Not any Dr. Monty shit, and not any gobblegum loadouts. Instead, when you hit a gobblegum, you get a random gum. You know, like, you can keep Dr. Monty and, like, unlock gobblegums, but you don't have a loadout. I mean, because that's the thing. Every time I play zombies, I don't want to use my good gobblegums. Because they're rare and you have to spend money on them. Or spend, like, 10 hours unlocking the mystery mix to then get them. So, you know, like, all the gobblegums would just be, you know, you unlock them in the Monty shop, you get plenty of the Ethereum, whatever it is. And every time you hit that gobblegum machine, you get a random gun. No loadout required. And that's pretty much all I got, in terms of what my dream Call of Duty would be like. I would also mention, or like to mention, that the game cosmetically would focus more on gun skins and player skins. Because, you know, you don't really play in third person, you just play in first. But, yeah, that's pretty much it. So, you know, thank you all so much for listening to me ramble for almost 20 minutes. And I'm gonna try and get these out weekly. Anyways, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see all you guys and gals on the next video. Goodbye.